What's up, YouTube? Franklyn McInnis here. I was tagged by Funko Vision to do the Funko Pop Tag, which has 10 questions altogether. And in case you don't know Funko Vision, I will make sure that I link his channel down in the description. He does mainly like pop reviews and pop hauls. He does some hunting videos every once in a while. He has an amazing collection, which you can see behind him in his most recent videos especially. So again, if you're not familiar with Funko Vision, do make sure that you check him out. But since there are 10 questions in this tag, let's go ahead and jump right into it, and let's not waste any time. Question number 1. It asks, what is my favorite Funko Pop? Well, I covered this recently on my channel, so anybody that's been up on what's going on my channel, they already know the answer. Baby. Notorious B.I.G. And I cannot point out this Funko Pop without talking about the disgrace that is Rich Homie Quan. Now, those of you that know about what's going on in the world of hip-hop, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't, let me fill you in real quick. Notorious B.I.G., greatest MC of all time in my book, and I think most hip-hop fans would have to at least put him, you know, in the top 5 or their personal top 10, because he's just that good. You know, it doesn't matter which, I'll say, region that you're really into. I know some people are more into West Coast or Southwest or the down South sound, but I think you got to give it up to Big E, even if you're not the hugest fan of him. Great MC. So there was a tribute done to him recently, and for some reason, Rich Homie Quan was chosen to do one of his verses from the song Get Money, and he forgot the lyrics. That's right. This so-called rapper or MC, whatever you want to call it, he forgot the lyrics by one of the greatest MCs of all time. Shameful. Very shameful. I hope he, leaves the country in disgrace. He needs to go. But anyway, yeah. B.I.G. definitely my favorite Funko Pop, because B.I.G. himself such a huge inspiration to me, and I do think the figure actually does capture the man very well. You know, this is a suit that he actually wore. He's got the mic there. He does have a cane as well. In case you're wondering, he was in an actual car accident, so he actually did need the use of a cane towards the end of his life before his life was taken, tragically. So let's jump right to question number 2. My least favorite. Now, this question was actually a little bit difficult because I tend to make sure that I only keep pops that I'm really a fan of. So ones that I've gotten that were like impulse buys that I wasn't too crazy about, I either gave them away or I traded them. I didn't keep them around. But there is one pop that's still in my collection that bugs me just a little bit, and it is Swamp Thing. Now, I like the character Swamp Thing, and I was kind of excited when I saw this pop figure. You see, it's a PX Previews exclusive. That means that basically you will find this even, for some reason, FYE has these, but mainly PX Previews exclusive you would find in comic shops. But this particular one, I actually did find it in a comic shop. But like I said, you can find these in FYE as well. Okay, you see it says glows in the dark. So for one thing, the glow is pretty weak. And that's true of way too many Funko Pops, that they're glow in the dark and you get excited about that, and then the glow is just not impressive. Some figures, it seems like they're getting better, but I don't know about them overall. But this one, like I said, for one thing, the glow is weak. And then let me show you the other reason why I'm not a fan of it. And if you're familiar with this figure, then you already know what I'm about to point out here. If you look at this figure, looks okay there, right? Not super detailed necessarily, but it looks okay for the most part. You notice here how it has the brown branches colored in and everything to help it look more like the character. But let's just go to the back here. And it looks like somebody went home early from their job. Why are these branches here on the back not painted? That's just lazy work to me. Really lazy, really sloppy. And that really does bug me. And I know that I do keep this figure in the box most of the time, but still, that bugs me there. So I don't like that about this figure. And more than likely, I'll probably trade this figure away eventually and get the flocked Swamp Thing, which I think looks cooler anyway. So that's probably what's going to happen. And that's why this is my least favorite figure. Hate to tell you, Swamp Thing, you're my least favorite. Okay. So I'm going to put him away and let him cry in the corner for a little bit. let's keep it moving right along. Favorite series. Okay, so there are different series that I collect. It is mainly DC, Marvel. I do have some Walking Dead, not a whole lot. I got some horror pops, and I'm like a lot of people, I do agree that they do need to expand on their horror pops. They really don't have enough. In fact, hardcore horror fans that collect Funko Pops, they probably already have all the ones that they want. I know Jeff Suarez just said this in one of his videos. He already has all the horror pops that he wants, and that's kind of a shame that there's not enough horror. But for me personally, I'm a bigger fan of DC characters in comics, in animated movies, not live action because, oof. Anyway, you know, hopefully that'll turn around. But anyway, I'm a bigger fan of DC overall. But as far as pops are concerned, I'm sorry, Marvel looks better. And, I mean, examples here. The Metallic Vision, amazing looking pop figure. Okay, these from the Secret Wars Collector Core box. We have Thor, or some people say Lady Thor. And we have Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Great looking pop figures. I mean, just think about some of the other figures that Marvel has put out. Falcon, amazing design figure. I know for some people the head sits a little too high on the neck and that doesn't look so hot. And you know the Marvel ones, they're all bobbleheads, but still really well designed figure. DC, they just don't have anything on that level. Also, another great example, the Hulkbuster. Can you really tell me that DC has anything on this level? They just don't. And you know, there's some other really great Marvel ones too that are just highly impressive. And yeah, DC just they don't quite have it in terms of pop figures. And you know, for series altogether, I think the Marvel ones, they just really stand out. Okay, keeping it moving here. That was question number 3. Question number 4. What are the newest pop figures I have? And this relates to what I was just talking about. I actually got 2 at the same time, and these came from my good friend Totally the Towel Man. You should be familiar with Totally if you're familiar with my channel, Totally the Towel Man. Okay, so he sent me these 2 figures, Doc Ock and Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen. Both of these great looking figures, and they are Marvel figures, of course. You know, so yeah, Marvel is just, you know, I mean, on point, you know, with their figures. And I know that really comes down to Funko, but who knows, maybe things will get better with the DC characters as far as pops are concerned. And I know it's not an either or thing, but you can't help but compare Marvel and DC. Let's keep it moving here. Next question. Okay, that was number 4. Number 5. What is my oldest pop? I don't know if this means oldest as far as what's oldest in my collection, or I'm going to assume it's oldest as in what was produced. I think that's the way that Funko Vision answered it, so I'm going to go with what was produced. So I don't know for sure. I'm assuming that it's either Notorious B.I.G., and I'm not 100% sure when this was made. I think it's 2013, I want to say. I think it's 2013. Yeah, because I do have an old school Iron Man. But I'm pretty sure that this is not an original. I mean, the box is just way too nice. So I think they produced some more of these older figures, and that's why this looks so pristine. So yeah, I think Notorious B.I.G. might be the oldest produced one that I have. Okay, keeping it moving right along here. Or actually, the next one up, it says number 6, what is the most valuable pop? Sorry, Biggie, you got to come right back up here. There you go, buddy. Yeah, Notorious B.I.G. is definitely my most valuable pop figure. Right now, I've seen this figure being sold for around $130, $135 with damaged boxes. That's the damaged price, people. Okay, so a box in good condition can go from around, I think, 160 to 165 on upwards. I've seen some people even selling it for around 200. There is a metallic Notorious B.I.G. pop figure which goes for around 500 or more. So yeah, this one is definitely my most valuable one. The second is probably like at least $50 or so away from this one, and that would be the Madcap figure, which I think is sitting around, I want to say this one is sitting around $75, $80 maybe. I don't know, possibly more. I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, keeping it moving here. My best find in a store. Okay, I would say Madcap is in the running for that. I did find it in a store. Of course, it was from a mystery box, but not only did I find this figure myself, I mean, I got the mystery boxes, of course, and I looked up with it, but as far as I know, apparently I was like the first person to find this Chase figure, because once I shared it online, people seemed to lose their minds. So yeah, I think I was the first person to find that, but I still want to give the edge to my Green Goblin Chase figure. It just stands out of my mind more. That was a great find, and I'll say that it's probably a better find because I actually found two of them at one time, two Chase figures together. And we all know as pop hunters that if you're a pop hunter, you know that is extremely rare to find two Chases side by side. So yeah, that was an amazing find. Keeping it moving here, it says make a rainbow with my Funko Pops. Now, how can I pull this off easily? Roy G. Biv, eat your heart out. Done. Let's keep it moving. I know you're all really eager to get back to Pokemon hunting, but we're almost done here. We just got two more questions. Next up here says, what is my favorite exclusive? Again, this one pretty easy for me. Definitely the pink and white Harley Quinn. I've talked about it more than once now, why I like this figure so much. And for those of you that might be new to my channel, I'm just a huge Harley Quinn fan. I have a whole corner dedicated to Harley Quinn pop figures and posters and things. So yeah, huge Harley Quinn fan. You can go back to a previous video if you want to check out the reasons why this one is so important to me. In fact, I addressed it some in my, I think the top 5 Funko Pops that I purchased this year. I broke it down in that tag video some, and I got into a little more detail in the previous video. So yeah, I won't hold us up going through all that again, because like I said, and I know if you've been on my channel for a while, you're familiar with why that one really stands out to me. And then question number 10, which pop do I want the most? Now, I almost struggled with this one a little bit, and then it kind of jumped in my mind, and I think it jumped in my mind just because I keep seeing other people with this figure. So I think it's really starting to bug me that I don't have it. And let me give you some clues here. Okay, so Shaun of the Dead, one of my favorite movies. It's a horror comedy, probably one of the best horror comedies ever made. Great movie. And I have here the blood splattered Shaun and the blood splattered Ed, both of these Entertainment Earth exclusives. Those are pretty cool. And then I also even have the Ed Mystery Mini. And I have the Shaun Mystery Mini. And this one actually has some little blood splatter on him as well. I don't know if they're all like that or if this is a rare one to find. So really happy with these here, but I don't have Zombie Ed. And I keep seeing other people with that figure. And the reason I don't have it yet is because there's been times when I had it, I was like checking it out on Amazon or eBay, and right when I'm trying to make the purchase, all of a sudden the price gets bumped up. And even though I really want the figure, I'm only going to pay so much for it. I don't want to pay a huge price. I don't think the figure is really worth that much, but I really would like it in my collection just because I'm such a fan of the movie, and it does kind of feel like a hole in my collection not having that particular figure. So again, the Zombie Ed right now, that's probably the one that jumps in my mind the most. I know it's not like the rarest figure, the most valuable figure, but like I said, just being such a huge fan of the movie, I really would like it, especially since I do have these other figures already. So now you've heard my 10 responses, and I'm supposed to tag 5 other YouTubers for this Funko Pop tag, and I actually wrote their names down here. The 5 people that I'd like to tag. Now, for one thing, the way that I based who I want to tag is on the size of their collection, because I think in order to really give good responses for this tag, you really need to have a good size collection. And then I also want to make sure that I tag some people that I haven't tagged before. So starting off, I want to tag Karen of Ethan Finds Out, and all of these YouTubers, I will make sure I link their channels down below. Karen of Ethan Finds Out. Karen, that's the mother, Ethan is her son, and she does a lot of great hunting videos. She goes to some really amazing places to do her pop hunting. Channel 21, a channel that I've subscribed to recently, and I really love the way that she edits her videos together. She does a lot of Funko Pop reviews. She does some thoughts on movies and things as well. Like, you know, it's a good mix of videos on her channel. Next up, Julith Nerdy Obsessions. Again, I'm a recent subscriber, but I like what I see of her channel so far. She has a nice collection. She does basically pop reviews as well, and haul videos, and just good personality. Seems like a good person. Number 4 here, I'm tagging Robbins Nest. Robbins Nest, they are a married couple, and their boys are in the video sometimes as well. They got a really nice collection behind them, and they don't just focus on Funko Pops. They have plenty of Funko Pops, but they focus on some other figures as well, like Lego figures. So really cool mix in their collection. And then Daryl, also known as the D from the Simply Incredible podcast. I want to tag him as well. I've been watching his channel for a good while. Really cool guy. Again, amazing collection that you can see behind him in his videos. So yeah, I hope all these YouTubers actually take the time to do this tag. I had some fun with it, and I'm just really interested to hear your answers, you know, those of you that are tagged. And yeah, just support these channels. I will make sure that I link all of their channels down below. And thank you for taking the time to check out this video. Like I said, I had fun with it. You know, I've liked these tag videos so far, and I'm really enjoy hearing other people's responses even more than doing them myself. So again, thank you for watching, and look forward to more content on my channel.